Okay, kids, I want to ask you a question today. What are you like when you get up in the morning? You know, when your parents come in and tell you it's time for school or it's time to go someplace, what are you like? I mean, are you the kind of person that bounds out of bed with great energy, or are you the kind of person that lies in bed and pulls the covers over your head and are groggy for the first couple hours of your day? I bet a lot more of you are the groggy type. I want to tell you, when my kids were little, like say maybe in the fourth grade, they never wanted to get up and go to school. I would call out to them in the morning and I'd get no response. I'd call again, I'd hear nothing. I'd call a third time, I'd never get nothing. So I had to figure out a better way to get my kids up, to wake them up in the morning. So I learned something that really worked really well. I would go into their rooms, I would turn the lights on fully bright, and I would turn the radio up full blast. They couldn't miss that. They hated that. But it worked. And maybe you want to pass that on. Maybe I'll pass that on to your parents. Maybe they'll try that with you. But anyhow, that's kind of the way we're kind of sleepy in the morning. Sometimes we don't want to get up. It reminds me of a story in the book of Acts. You can look this up this week if you want. Paul is preaching, and he's in this building with three stories. There's people on all three stories that are listening to his sermon, and he kind of goes on and on and on, preaches a pretty long sermon. On the third floor, this guy named Eutychus, he's trying to listen to this sermon, but he falls asleep. Falls asleep in the middle of the sermon, and he's sitting right next to a window, and so he leans, he falls out the window, and he dies. Now, Paul, it's a good ending to the story. Paul prays for him. He's raised from the dead, and everything is all fine. But the moral of that story is never fall asleep in the middle of a sermon. Bad things could happen. I'm only kidding. Sometimes, though, when we're supposed to be learning something about God, we get kind of sleepy. Sometimes we're not very alert when it comes to the things of God. Sometimes we're just sleepy with God and we miss things. Peter says that we should stay alert with God, that we should be aware that God is with us at all times, and we should be listening for what God is teaching us. We need to be fully awake and engaged with God. God can do great things for us when he has our full attention. So we need to focus in on him and give him our full attention. We need to pay attention to God. We need to read the Bible. We need to listen for God's voice and not be sleepy with God. We'll see you next week, kids.